Hey everyone, welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. So today we have a drag build and tune for the 1985 Toyota AE86 Tureno. So this drag build will be an all-wheel drive tune, so you can let me know in the comments down below if you want to also see a rear-wheel drive drag build and tune for this car. But if you enjoyed the video or find it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. So we're going to be looking at how fast the Tureno is at the drag strip, but first off I just want to show you the stats for this car. So into the change car menu here, we can see that the Tureno has an almost 1-to-1 power to weight ratio with 947 kilowatts and 935 kilos, which is equal to 1,270 horsepower and about 2,060 pounds. So we'll just bring it up to the drag strip here so we can show it off. So lining up into the staging booths here, we're just going to launch this car from about 5,000 RPM. Just drop it there. Get a little bit of wheel spin in first gear, but then we've caught traction by second. Just going to hold fifth gear all the way to the speed trap, and we got a speed of 351 kilometers an hour. And for anyone who is using miles per hour, by the speed trap at the end there, we hit 218 miles an hour, which is the equivalent of the 351 kilometers an hour that we just showed. But now we'll be taking the Tureno into the festival drag strip race so that we can see how fast it is against the other cars, as well as get a time by the end. So at launch here, we are first up into fifth gear now, destroying the competition. Sixth, coming up to the finish line. We won that race pretty easily, and we got a time of 13.4 seconds. Alright, so now that we've seen how fast the 1985 Toyota Tureno is, we'll now take it into the festival and I'll show you how to upgrade and tune it. So you want to come into the custom upgrade menu here with a stock Toyota Sprinter Tureno. Here we'll be doing the conversions tab first and the engine swaps. In here we'll be putting in the 3-litre inline 6 turbo, as this is a racing version of the 2JZ. Then we'll also be doing a drivetrain swap to all-wheel drive. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to see a rear-wheel drive version of this tune. So out of the conversions, now we'll come over to the aero and appearance. The only thing we need to change here is the hood, as we can save a few kilos. So you can come out of aero and appearance, now into the tires and rims. In here we'll be throwing on the drag tire compound, as well as making the front and rear tires as wide as possible. Then changing out the rim style for anything you want, as long as it is more lightweight, just like these ones here. So you can come out of the rims. We're now just going to add some spaces to the front and rear of the car. So you can come out of tires and rims now and into the drivetrain. So in here we'll be putting in the race driveline. We don't need to change the gearbox. We'll also be changing out the differential for the race diff. So you can come out of drivetrain now into platform and handling. So in here we'll be putting in the race brakes, then the off-road or rally springs and dampeners. Then we're going to put in the race front and rear anti-roll bars, as well as the race weight reduction. So we can come out of platform and handling now into engine. So in here we're putting in the race fuel system, race ignition, race valves, race engine block, then the race turbo. So that's it as far as the upgrades go for the Tureno. So you can go ahead and apply all of these. Alright, so now that we've upgraded the car, we can now come over to the custom tuning menu over here. So first off, I'll show you the metric tune, and then I'll show you the differences for the imperial tune, and I'll leave the tune code on screen now. So for the front and rear tire pressures, you can leave these at 1.0 bar as they are already set to the lowest by default. Then if we come over to the gearing, we're going to set our final drive down to 2.50, come down to there. Then first gear, we're going to set this to 3.15, come down to here. Then second gear, we're going to set this to 2.25, from a fairway down to there. Then third gear, we're going to bring this down to 1.75. Then fourth gear, we're going to be setting this to 1.35, come all the way down to there. Fifth will be set to 1.08, and then sixth gear will be set to 0.83, just like so. So now that we've done the gears, we can come over to the alignment. So in here we'll be setting our front and rear camber angles to 0 degrees, then our front cast angle to 7 degrees. Next we've come over to the anti-roll bars. We're just going to stiffen these up as much as possible, so 65 in the front and also 65 in the rear. Now if we come over to the springs, you want to set your front springs here up to 49.8, come all the way up to there. Then in the rear, we're going to bring these up to 35.7. So now that we've set our springs, we're now going to come over to the dampening. So for the front rebound stiffness here, we're going to bring this down to 2.7, come down to there. Then for the rear, we're going to set this to 9.5, just come up a little bit. Then the front bump stiffness, we're going to set this to 2.4, and for the rear bump stiffness, we're going to set this to 8.7. So finally, for the metric tune, if we come over to the differential tab at the end, we're going to set our front acceleration up to 90%. Then the rear acceleration, we're going to bring this up to 95%. And then the center balance, we're going to bring this up to 72%. So that's it as far as the metric tune goes. So now I'll show you the differences for the imperial tune. So as far as differences go for the imperial tune, you want to keep your front and rear tire pressures at 15 psi. Then if we come over to the springs tab in the front here, you'll want 279 in the front, and then for the rear, you want 200.0. So that's it as far as the differences go, so you can go ahead and apply all of these. Alright everyone, so this has been a drag build and tune for the 1985 Toyota AE86 Tureno. So if you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.